Sechte Bava basra daf ein hey amar aleph was starting from ein dalad amad beis the last line. Yas Avdim Eretz Yisrael, when Avdimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Babel, Amma, he said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Asid Gavil Laseis, Kinigya Im Leviasan, that Gavil will perform a hunt of the Leviasan, like it says in the pasuk Shanamar by Benegay Te'iv about the describing the Leviasan Hatimshech. Could you then hook the Leviasan b'chaka with a hook? Could you catch the Leviasan with a fish hook? So sagt die Gemara, say, if not for Hashem assisting, Gavir would never be able to hunt the Leviathan, catch the Leviathan. Never, like it says in the pasuk, Yagesh Chabai. Only he who made the Leviathan can use the sword to approach him. Sagt die Gemara, Kiyas Avdim, when Avdim came from to Bava from Eretz Yisrael, he said the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Mishash Leviathan Rav, in the time when Leviathan is hungry, the heat comes out of its mouth, and boils all the water, all the depth, boils all the waters in the depth of the sea. Like it says in the passing that Pasha, Tiach Kasir Mitzula, that he makes the deep boil like a pot. If not for the Leviathan, place its head in Gan Eden, no creature would be able to withstand the smell of its breath. Like it says in the pasuk, Yom Yom Yasir Kamakacha. Like it says in the pasuk, he makes the sea like a mixture. See, the special mixture, meaning the word makacha is also used to describe something with a smell also, like kirikosh shel psamim, and the psamim of Gan Eden weakens this bad smell and the good smell together. So that's how we're able to cope with the smell, because the Leviathan stuck its head in Gan Eden and got the good smell to mix with the bad smell. In the time when the Leviathan is thirsty and he drinks from the water, he makes a whole bunch of furrows by Yam. In the Yam. Sagt die Gemara, Amar Rabba, where do we see that? Like it says in the pasuk, Achrov Yoir Nosiv. So what does it mean, Achrov Yoir Nosiv? So he says that after it makes a path shine, after it finishes drinking, it leaves behind trenches that shines from the reflection of the Leviathan's shiny skin. Sagt die Gemara, Omar, Ravach Rabbi Yaakov wird gesagt, that from the water that's missing from the Yam, from this that Leviathan had drank, Ein Hateim Chislei Sanei Ad Shimshana. The depth of the sea doesn't return because so much water was taken away from Leviathan, from his drinking, till 70 years. He doesn't get back to its place, to its strength. And ever, like it says in the pasuk, Yachshev Tahaim L'Seva. Yachshev Tahaim L'Seva means that it makes the deep seem like an old person. And an old person, the term old person is not less than 70 years old. So that's what it means, that these trenches of furrows that it forms from when it drank the water, so that makes, in order for it to go back to original form, we'll need 70 years. Okay, so the Gemara, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi said the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Also, that Kadosh Baruch Hu says, that the Eivishter will one day make a meal for the tzaddikim. From the boss of the Yasam, Shadama, like it says in that Pasha, Zichei Olav Chabarim, that companions will eat Chabarim Lashon Chaverim or Chabarim Lashon Talmid Chacham, feast upon it. So he says, Lefi Pshute Chabarim Heim Mechashvim, witchcrafters, that Mechashvim have to use the talents, the wisdom and talents in order to grab it. But the Gemara explains it differently. Here, ve'ein keira, this, the shadish of the word keira, yichu el lashon suda. Keira can only, over here means a lashon of a suda. So he says, Shanam, like it says in the Pasik, Imelach and Beis, Pasik Vav, Perik Vav, Pasik Al Gimel, Vayichra Lahem Keri Gedela. He prepared for them a big feast. Vayichra, they ate and they drank, Chabarim, El Talmid Chachamim. Here, Chabarim that's mentioned over here only refers to Talmidei Chachamim, who are called Chaverim. Because it says lefish chavrusam zelazeh he chibrus amitius. He says the connection between Talmidei Chacham between one another is a true connection. It's l'shem shamayim uvad. And so too we find that the Rambam brings down v'chein amu chachamim Talmidei Chachamim noim b'chabura. It says, Talmidei Chachamim, the beauty is b'chabura in a group, but not by Amaratzim. Shenema, like it says in the Pasik, okay, Shenema, like it says in the Pasik, it says, those who live in the gardens, companions who are attentive to your voice, let me hear them. This is brought down in Shir Hashirim. The gardens are a reference to the Beis Mati Medrashim, and the companions are the Talmidei Chachamim. The conclusion of the pasuk means, let me hear the sound of you learning the Torah. And the remainder of the meat of the Liyasan will be distributed and will be traded in the markets of Yerushalayim. Like it says in the Pasik, regarding Leviyasan Yechatsuhu Ben Kananim, there will be a portion. They will apportion it being divided among the merchants. Sagt die Gemara, ve'ein Knanim el Tagarim, and Knanim is only what is Knanim referring to? Tagarim are Seicharim, are merchants. Shanam, like it says in the pasuk, Canaan, the merchant, that it's in regards to a merchant, Canaan, in his hand is a fake scale, a full scale. And it says over here, who loves to steal. If you want, I'll tell you another answer. That the raya that Canaan is a Seicha merchant is from here. Asher Seichara Sarim Canaan Nichbadei Erez. It's peddlers of the city of Tyre. 12. So he says that the peddlers of the city are princes are princesses, and its merchants, its kinaneha, are the honorable of the earth. Sagt die Mutter, that the Eibishter is going to make the huts or the booths for the righteous ones out of the skin of the Luyasa. Like it says in the Pasuk, when Hashem was speaking to Eve about Tamala Besukis Eirei. So it says that could you make sukkahs from the hide of the Leviathan? It's mashma lavi that the Eibishter will do so. So the Eibishter said yes. Zacha, if a person is that the Eibishter will make from the hide of Leviathan a sukkah. Zacha, but if he's not going to be zeichem, he'll just make a roof for sale. For to a gag, a roof, but not the four walls of the sukkah. Like it says in the pasuk, ubetzilzel dagim reish. Can you make a fish shade out of his head, as Hashem will do? So zak the Gemara, zacha eisenleit zilzel. If at least he's worthy. If he's at that level, then the Eibishter will make a shade for him. But if he didn't reach to such a high worthy level, then the Eibishter will make from it just a necklace. Like it says on the words of the Torah, but they are accessory of grace for your head, and necklaces around your neck. So he refers to the word, those again. This passage refers to the words of the Torah, that if a person watches the Torah and the halachos of the Torah, then they will be accessory for his head. And he will have a canopy in the world to come. But even if he's not so worthy, he will at least have the schus. I mean, but he will, but he'll be somewhat worthy. Then he'll have it like a necklace around his neck. Okay. Zacha eisen layanak. If he was worthy, then he'll have it as a necklace. If he wasn't worthy, then they will make him an amulet. Never, like it says in the pasuk by the pasha of the Leviathan by Eov, can you bind it, meaning the Leviathan, on your maidens, on your maidens. So this refers to a small item that is this amulet, that is a small item that's on a chain to hang on the neck. So he says, okay, we'll go back to this. Whatever's left over from the hide of Eliyasin after they made all these things for the tzaddik in Pesach, that the Eibishter will spread it down on the walls of Yerushalayim, and it will shine from one end of the world to the other. Like it says in the pasuk, and the nations will go by your light, and kings by the brightness of your shining. So over here, the letters, when it says the word le'oirech, oirech can be written also with ayin, which means by your hide, by the skin, meaning by the skin of the Leviathan. So since we already mentioned the walls of Yerushalayim, of Las and Vladway, so the Gemara is going to dash an additional pasuk that talks about about Yerushalayim. It says when it gave to the Haftachas HaKadosh Baruch Hu about Yerushalayim, it says V'samti katchei shimshei sayich. I will make your walls of katkait stone. And the Gemara will soon say what kind of stone it was. And shimshei sayich means to be walls, meaning the walls of Yerushalayim. So to Rashi, that's the pshat of shimshei sayich. So I said, the Gemara, Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani said, Pligi trei malachim berekia. There were two malachim berekia arguing regarding what is the katkait, what kind of a stone is it? Who were the two malachim? Gabriel and Michael. They were arguing what is this stone of the katkait. Others say, no, today Amarayim Marabah. It was a machliks of two Amarayim in Eretz Yisrael. Uman ino, who were those two Amarayim? Yehud v'Chizkiyo b'nei Rabbi Chia. Yehud v'Chizkiyo, Chizkiya, the children of Rabbi Chia. Chad Omar, the one said katkait is the Shoyim stone. Chad Omar Yoshve is the Yoshve stone. Amalu HaKadosh Baruch Hu lahavi kedeinu kedein. Let it be like both opinions, that the wall should be built side from the Shoyam and side from the Yoshve. And the word katkait is kedein or kedein. You break it up. Kov dalet, kov dalet. You mean kedein, kedein. That you should accept the both Perushim, and therefore you will build the walls of Yerushalayim with these two stones, type of stones. It says, Usharai lavnei egdor. Hashem says in the time to come, I will make your gates carved out of stones, meaning those big stones, that the whole shar will be carved out from one big stone, and it will be not just the stone. I mean, not just the gate will be carved out from a single stone, but the lintel, the side posts, and the threshold will all be one piece. Like Rabbi Yochanan sat down and dashed on this pasuk. Oh, Siddha Kadosh Baruch Hu, Lavi Havarim Oteis Makali Sheheim Begadol Shel Shleishim Ames Al Shleishim Ames. That in the future Kadosh Baruch Hu will bring precious stones and pearls, which are 30 ames by 30 ames, and he will cut out from them an opening of 10 ames by 20 ames, and he will place them at the gates of Yerushalayim. So he's gonna be carve out the opening and the height again. So we said at the height of 10 ames by 20 ames, and it will place them at the gates of Yerushalayim. So there's certain Talmud that laughed. He says, now we can't, today's days, we can't even find the precious stone and pearls at the size of an egg of a small dove. So how's a child to talk? He says, can stones be of such a tremendous size, like you just said? Yamim, if there's a zman, lach hazman, svina say, by Yom, the students' ship set to go sail on the sea. Have malach hasharis, and he saw chaz malach hasharis. He saw the malach hasharis. The Yasvi coming now say, Avar b'teitz magali is sitting and cutting precious stones, sawing precious stones and pearls. Shein lamed al lamed, that were 30 amas and 30 amas. V'chok behem esaberum esim, and 10 amas by the height of 20 amas was cut out of them, from them, just like the Rabbi Yochanan had dashin. Zog the Gemara, v'chokik behem. We said hani leman. So the student is, for whom are these? So the Malachim answer, they told him that Eivishter will one day place them at the gates of Yerushalayim. When the student came back, he came before Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi, Darshan Rabbi, you are fit to give such dashas. Just as you said, I saw. Amalei. Rabbi Yochanan said to him, Reika, empty one. Had you not seen it for yourself, you wouldn't believe it. You're laughing from the words of the Chachamim. Rabbi Yochanan set his eyes on him, and he turned into a pile of bones. The Braisa is, it says, "B'negei the Avtachas Hakadosh Baruch Hu B'nei Yisrael, va'oylech eschem k'mamiyus." And I will lead you in standing upward, standing erect. So how high will it be when Hashem will lead us? Ameya says that it means kishtei kaimer shel adam. Messiah Amma, like the two heights of Adam Rishon. Even though Adam Rishon, it says, when the Rashban brings down, his height was from Minhar Sa'ad L'Arkiya, and it was 500 years to go from the bottom of Adam Rishon to the top. But after Adam Rishon sinned, he was diminished to the size of 100 feet. And Kishtei, but it says Kaimamiyus, so it means that Kishtei Kaim Shal Adam Rishon, that's 200 feet. Rabbi Yehuda says 100 amas kedagel heichal uksalav, corresponding to the height of the heichal and its walls. Like it says in Tehillim, Asher baneinu kintiyim migudalim b'nureyam. For our sons are like saplings living from their youth, or nurturing from their youth. And they say, no, our daughters are like cornerstones, crafted in the form of the heichal. So we see from the Braisa that the people will be 100 amas tall, but such tall people will require gates much higher than 20 amas, like Rabbi Yochanan had said. So Zakasha. And the Gemara keep coming. Rabbi Yochanan, when did Rabbi Yochanan say his statement of 20 amas? What did he mean on the word Usharayich Shasa HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he's going to carve out the S amas by the 20 amas? He only meant for the windows for ear, not to the gates. The gates have to be much higher. And Rab had said the name of Rabbi Yochanan, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lasois Sheva Chupas L'chol Tzadik V'Tzadik, that the Eibishter is going to make 7 canopies for every tzaddik. Shalem, like it says in the pasuk, Uvor Hashem al Kamechein Har Tzimah Mikaya, and Hashem will create over the whole Har Tzion, and over its those that will be gathered there, the Hanoshim that will be there, gathered there, Anon Yomam, a cloud by day, and smoke and the light of a flaming fire by night. Covered chuppah. For over every glory there shall be a canopy. So you see, there are 7 canopies. Anan Yomam is one. Anan Yomam, the cloud of the day, is one. The Ashan is the second canopy, the smoke. The Noigab, and the light is the 3rd canopy. The fire, the flaming fire, is the 4th canopy. Flame is the fire is the. I'm sorry, the fire is the 4th canopy. Lava Laila, the flaming fire by night, is the 5th canopy. Ki'al covered for over every glory, that's the 6th canopy, and chuppah is the 7th canopy. Malamed, he comes to teach us that Hashem will make a canopy for each and every person according to his covet. The Gemara asks further, for what purpose will there be smoke in the canopy? So the Gemara answers, Rabbi Chanina, Shekol Misheinu Tzaris B'Talmidei Chacham B'Mazeh. And whoever had a stingy eye with regard to Talmidei Chacham in this world, Mismalos Einav Asher, his eyes will become filled with smoke. L'olam haba, in the world to come. 42, second. Okay. For what purpose will there be a fire in the canopy? Rabbi Chanina said, Melamed, his teachers, that each and every one will be burned by his friend's canopy. If it's bigger and he sees his is smaller, he's going to be burned. Woe for such a shame. Woe for such a disgrace, because he's going to say, oh, if my friend has a bigger one, I could have been there. I could have had a bigger one as well. If he would have done what he was supposed to, Ba'ilam Hazeh. Says the Gemara, similarly, we find the same thing. Where do we find it? By the following pasuk, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe Rabbeinu, when you come to a point, Yeshuv Nun, as the leader of the Yidden, in your place, in your stead, you should give from your shine onto Yeshua. The Torah doesn't say some of your majesty, but not all. Sagt die Gemara from this that it says and it doesn't say all your shine. That means that he won't be matzliach. Yeshua won't be matzliach to get the full shine of Moshe Rabbeinu. Zekenim shebeis hador. And the elders of that generation, when they contemplated the difference between Moshe and Yeshua, Amru, they said, Pnei Moshe, Pnei Echam, Pnei Yeshua, Kipnei Levana. The face of Moshe was like the sun, and the face of Yeshua is like the moon. Oy la la isabusha. Woe for that shame. Oy la la isaklima. Woe for that disgrace. And because Yeshua, who was the leader after Moshe, was a Navi and a Melech like Moshe, and nevertheless, his cover didn't reach to the cover of Moshe Rabbeinu. That was a tremendous busha, shame, and disgrace for Yeshua. That even though they were both similar in their miles, but the madrega between them was so far apart that Moshe was like the sun and Yeshua was like the moon. The Eibishter made 10 canopies for Adam, the first man, in Gan Eden. Shalem, like it says in the pasuk, when Hashem tells off Hiram, the king of Tzur, the Eidim, Gan Elikim Hayisakol Avni Yakara. And Hayisakol Avni Yakara, that where you in Gan Eden, every precious stone was your covering. And he brings down the stones, Odem, Oidem, Pitida, Yahalim, Tashish, Shayam, Yashve, Sape, Nefer, Varkas, Vezov. And it says, Malachas tu pecha unikavecha kach b'yem hibaracha kainanu. So we're going to talk about this pasuk in a minute. Mazuta Matzuzah says, Achas Esrei, that the Eibishter made 11 canopies. Shenema, like it says in the pasuk, Kol Evni Yikara, every precious stone. That's chuppah. That's a chuppah neisafis b'fnei atzma. That's an additional canopy on its own. So, and according to Rabbi Chama Bar Chanina, the word Kol Avadim Yikara is included in the Kol Avadim Yikaris, in the Eidem Pidda. That's what the Rashbam says. Rabbi Yechna said Garush Bekulam, and the least of all of the precious stones, the Kachashiv Leila B'Seif, is Zav, is gold. The Kachashiv Leila B'Seif, since it's enumerated at the end. So you can learn out from here how chashuv were the rest of the canopies. In fact, you might have my meleches. Listen to the pasuk. My meleches to pecho nekavacha bach. What is the meaning of the next part of the pasuk? The work of your drums and your holes are within you. From the day of your creation, they were established. Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rav, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lechinam Melech Tzur. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Lechinam, the king of Tzur, B'chon istakalti. When I created the world, I looked at you, Chinam. And Kanasti Mista al Adam Arishan. And he says, because of you, I would say, first he says, and therefore and I therefore created many holes in a person to be able to go to the bathroom and so forth, in order that with this would humiliate the Chiram or man, knowing that he has to go to the bathroom, which is a disgusting thing. The word drums means the cavities, like hollow drums that are within the body that contain waste, and the holes are the opening for other discharges. Zag the Gemara. This is the pshat. In you, I have looked at, and I saw that you're going to rebel and think that you're a god. And I therefore decreed the death penalty on Adam Arishain. Now tupacha, which means drums, cavities, here means the graves. So Rabba V'Shem Rabbi Yechon continues and explains another part of the pasuk. It says, "Abara Hashem al kol mechayin har tzinam al mikra'el anan yoyim ve'ashem." What is the purpose of the pasuk? Hatziyim al mikra. What does it mean that the Hatziyim and its assemblies? Yerushalayim of the world to come is not like the Yerushalayim of this world. Yerushalayim of this world, but whoever wants to go up could go up. However, B'negei to Yerushalayim of the world to come, the only ones that can go up are the ones that are invited. Only those who are worthy will be invited to enjoy the Ruchniisdike Hana, the Ruchniisdike pleasure of the Yerushalayim in the world to come. That the tzaddik will be called on the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Like it says, all that are called in my name. And whom I have created him up for my honor, I have formed him and made him. There are three who are called on Hashem's name. Tzaddikim, Mashiach, and Yerushalayim. Tzaddikim, Mashiach, and Yerushalayim. Tzaddikim are the Amarim. The one, like we said before, Shenema Kol Hanika Bishmi. So we already said about tzaddikim. Mashiach d'chsiv for its written Mezeh Shmei Asher Yikra Hashem Tzidkeinu, and this is the name by which he will be called God, our righteousness. Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is known by God's name. How do you see? D'chsiv for its written in the pasuk Saviv Shmeina Asa Aleph. Round about the city there will be 18,000 ames. V'yom Hashem Shama, and the name of the city from that day will be Hashem is there. Hashem Shama. I'll take you Shama. Don't read that Hashem is there. Shma, that rather it means Hashem is its name, meaning the name of Yerushalayim. That the Malachim will one day say Kaddish before the Tzaddikim. Like they say before Hashem. Like it says in the Pasuk. And it shall be that he who is left in Tzion and remains in Yerushalayim. So it says, holy shall be said to him. Kaddish should Ya'amaloi. Holy shall be said to him. Amar Rabba Yechon. Asa HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lagbi Yez Yerushalayim. Sholish Pasois L'mayla. That the Eibishter will one day elevate Yerushalayim 3 pasois high. Not like it says in the pasuk, V'ram Avi Yasher Tachta. And Yerushalayim will be lifted up, and she will be able, and she will stay in her place. So that's in Schaya. What does it mean that it will be in her place? Ki tachta. It means that Yerushalayim will be lifted up to such a height as much as its place. Meaning it will be lifted to a height equal to the length of the area she now occupies. And the length of the area is 3 parsois. From the mind, the height tachta is lots of parsei. How you know is 3 parsois. Because there's this old man that told me, I saw the first Yerushalayim, plus a pasay, and the length of it was 3 pasay. So according to that, we said just like the length, that's how much it's going to be elevated, 3 pasays. Perhaps you're going to say, yes, since Yerushalayim is so high, it's hard to go up there. Tamalem comes the pasuk and tells us, Mi Eloka'ov to Feno v'chayonim el arubaiseyam. Who are these who fly like a cloud and like pigeons to their coat windows? So you see that it's going to be very easy. That going up to Yerushalayim will be as easy as floating up like a cloud or like a bird flies to its coat. From here we have a raya, high eva, plus a pasamidli, that the height of the cloud is 3 pasois. And the pasuk compares the going up to Yerushalayim to flying like a cloud. So since Yerushalayim will be 3 pasois high, and we learn out, and therefore we can learn out that a cloud floats in the sky at the same height. This is the Rashbam saying this. Zog the Gemara, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, as you shall. No, it says, I just missed it. Omar Rabbi Chanina Bar Papa had said, Metchila, from the beginning, Big HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, as Yerushalayim b'midah, to begin with, the Eibishter wanted to make Yerushalayim a fixed size. Shenema, like it says in the pasuk by the Mara Nevuah of Zechariah, it says, "V'aseinai v'eidam v'hinei ish malach u'b'yadei chavol midah." And then it says, "Va'ima onata hilech." It says in the pasuk that the Navi Zechariah saw in a vision a malach with a measuring rope, and he said, and I said to him, Zechariah said, I said to him, where are you going? And he said to me, I'm going to measure Yerushalayim, to see how wide and long it is. The Malach Yashar said before HaKadosh Baruch Hu Rebbeinu Shalom, you created many cities in your world, belonging to Goyim. And there you didn't give the fixed measure for the length and the width. Yerushalayim, yet with regard to Yerushalayim, Sheshimcha b'seicha, when your name is in the midst over there, Mikdashcha b'seicha, and the Beis Hamikdash is in its midst, in the midst of Yerushalayim, with Tzadikim b'seicha, and the Tzadikim are in the midst. Are you going to give a fixed amount? Miyad, right away. The Navi saw a second malach addressing the first one. He said to him, run, tell this young man Zechariah, saying, Yerushalayim will be as an open area without a wall. And he says, on account of a lot of men and animals in its midst, meaning that it's going to be l'lo yishir. That's why it's going to be opened. That the Eivishter will one day add on to Yerushalayim gardens numbering 1,000 times the numerical value of the word tefef, elef kefel migdolim, and towers, high towers numbering 1,000 times the numerical value of the word kafel, which adds to 210, 1,000 times that. Elef litzui biraniyos, and castles numbering 1,000 times the numerical value of the word litzui, which is 146. And fortresses numbering 1,002 times the numerical value of Shiloi, which is 345. And each of these additions will have a population as that of the city of Sephiris when it was a matzliach and in its prosperity, in its best times. Zag the Gemara Tanya, we learned it was taught in Nabrais Amar. Rabbi Yossi had said, Ani ra'isi tziperi b'shalvasei, I saw tziperi in its good times, in time of menucha, in its time of tranquility. And there was in it 180,000 marketplaces just for one item, for vendors, of pot stew. For just one stew, there were 180,000 marketplaces. So that we learned in the fourth Maimah, in Agaya to the greatness of Yerushalayim. It's written, Shahayim Beis Hamikdash, V'Hatzlois, Tzela El Tzela Shalish Ushleishim Piyamim. The Torah writes when they get to the rooms of the Beis Hamikdash, and regarding the rooms, there was a room upon room 33 times. What is the meaning that there were 33 times? The word piyamim, times, in the pasuk is extra. So the Gemara therefore wants another pirush. Amar Rav Levi Amar Rav Papi Mishum Rav Yeshua this Sichni. Rav Levi said in the name of Rav Papi, in the name of Rav Yeshua the Sichni, Im Gim Yerushalayim Heim. If in the world to come, Lasad Lavi, there will be 3 Yerushalayim. If there will be 3 times the size of now, Kol Achas ve'Achas Yesh B'Hem Shleishim. Then each one will have 30 dwellings, one over the other. Each house will be 30 stories high. It will be 30 times the present size. Then each one will have, each one will have 30 dwellings, one above the other. So we just explained what that means. Each house will be 30 stories high. Now, in Shloishim Yerushalayim Hein, but if there will be 30 Yerushalayim, it will be 30 times its present state. Then each one will have 3 dwellings, one over the other. The room upon room, that's 33 times, is not referring to the rooms of the Beis Hamikdash, but rather to the city of Yerushalayim. If Yerushalayim will be 30, then it will be 3 times 3 stories, 3 floors. So the word Pi'amim refers to 30. That if Yerushalayim will be 3, it will be 30 times. Okay. Something about Itmar, I think we'll